I think you need that. Hi there, welcome to the channel. My name's Dan and this is Dan's Out and About. So, as the last part of our Japan trip, I want to talk to you about Universal Studios Japan. Universal Studios Japan is located in Osaka. We visited as our final destination in Japan. I absolutely love Universal Studios. I love all the IPs, I love the rides, I love the parks, fantastic. The only problem is every time I go to a Universal park, I get absolutely fucking soaked. So we went to Universal Singapore and in Orlando. Obviously they're in tropical locations, so it pissed down, but it dried up really quickly. Unfortunately, at the end of winter in Japan, it's pretty cold. So when it rained, it was fucking freezing and it was a little bit miserable. It put a bit of a dampener on the day. And unfortunately, we didn't get to do everything that we wanted, but we made the most of it and we want to take you along to show you. The ticketing system for Universal Japan is a little bit complicated. There are two areas that are timed. So you have the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Super Nintendo World. To get into those areas, you need reservations. You can either do that by purchasing a fast pass in advance or by getting lucky on the day and there being free time slots for you to book in. We decided as we travelled so far to buy the fast passes. We were given the slots of 11:30 AM for Super Nintendo World and 7 PM for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Now, because we were so cold and wet and not miserable, but a bit down in spirits by about 4 or 5 o'clock, we decided to call it a day and we missed out on the Wizarding World. Obviously, we've been to the Wizarding World in the other parks and there's not really that much difference. We took the decision just to knock it on the head and call it a day. The other unfortunate downer was we love Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. So we wanted to get on the Jurassic Park ride. We're trying to do them in every country. Unfortunately, it was down for maintenance, which is a bit of a bummer. So at some point, we've got to try and get back there. I don't know when, but we're going to try. Come and have a look at the torrential rain, the merchandise, the rides, and we'll have a bit of an explore in the park. So when we got to Universal, it was so wet. It was honestly, the rain was torrential and it was a little bit worrying. So I didn't think many things were going to be open. I couldn't even use my decent camera. I had to use my phone to record most of this. Unfortunately, it was so wet, I just couldn't use my camera. So a big chunk of the shopping district is actually covered, which is great. But it did mean that everyone was kind of packed into this little shopping district. Universal Studios Japan is probably the busiest park I've ever been in. I thought Disney was busy in Tokyo, but this was incredible. I don't know how they sold so many tickets on a Tuesday morning. So we dipped into some of the shops. There was an incredible amount of merchandise for everything you could think of. The only thing that I didn't see merchandise for was Back to the Future. There was loads of Jaws merchandise, tons of Jurassic Park merchandise and Jurassic World. Most of it was accessories. So you got pouches, card holders, pins, straps, headbands. It is massive there. Over in the US and in Singapore, I didn't really see too many headbands. There were a few in Singapore, but here it's the same as Disney with the ears. So we go some more Jaws, headbands and headpieces. As I say, it's just like the ears. There's tons. Pouches, coin purses, just absolutely fucking everything. Sunglasses. These are holders for your headbands when you're on rides. There's awesome sunglasses, which I absolutely want to get. But when you think about it, you get this stuff and you're like, yeah, I've got this really cool merch. And then you get out in the outside world and you never want to wear it again. It's just absolutely loads of these things. They're a lot of fun. I'm just so pleased that Jaws and Jurassic Park are so well represented here. The Jaws ride is so cool. So we went into the Sesame Street shop to have a look at the merch in here. It was so wet, we just couldn't face going back out into the rain. So we just had a look around some of the shops. So more headbands, lots of googly eyes. They're looking awesome in those. All of the staff are friendly, want to say hello. It's really nice. The sheer amount of hand towels, cups and accessories, plushes, and this awesome display. They've still got the Universal Monsters Rock and Roll Show, which is excellent. Unfortunately, the timings didn't quite work for us. As you look out over towards the city, you can actually see the bridge coming over, which is unusual for a Universal park. Usually everything's kind of hidden and you're kind of hidden away and you're taken out of the real world into the park. But here you could see out to the city. So they had Detective Conan, My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer on in the 4D cinemas. The queues for them were incredible. It's like a 3-hour queue for those. And Universal Studios Japan still has a working Jaws ride. It was so much fun. We actually went on this twice. The cast and crew on this ride are fucking fantastic. Obviously, it's all in Japanese, everyone speaks a mile a minute, but you get the gist of it, and it's just as good as the first time I rode the ride in Universal in Orlando. It's so much fun, and the crew were awesome here. They really, really were. Really friendly, really nice. And afterwards we stopped off for some chips, the vegan special, chips and Coke, and chips and a green tea. And we had a look through the Jaws merch. These are just fucking weird, but I love them, absolutely love them. But there was absolutely tons of Jaws merch. In this store there was Jaws, E.T. and Jurassic Park. As I say, but no Back to the Future, which seems unusual, because obviously Back to the Future is such a big part of Universal in America. And now Super Nintendo World. This was, I mean, you're gonna see how fucking busy this place was. The design itself is phenomenal. It is unreal. I can't believe how small it actually is though, because everything's built up so big, but the actual area itself is really small. As you'll see in a minute, as you come through the pipe and you come out, and it's a fucking cool view. And as you look around, you see everything, but obviously you can see how wet it is. Look at some of the lovely people's faces. This guy in the yellow, look how happy he is to be in there. That's how happy everyone was, because it was so wet. Now the problem here is these are timed entries, so you can only go in at certain times when you are allowed in. You have to make a reservation. Now you make the reservation and you go in, and the queues are like 3 hours long. We had a fast pass, and this was the fast pass queue. So that kind of tells you how busy it is. The ride itself, Mario Kart, is really, it's phenomenal. It's amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Obviously all of the design of the entrance and the castle itself is so cool. You've got all the cups there in the Universal Cup. The ride itself is like a 3D dark ride. We wear a VR headset, which is 3D. You control what you're seeing with the controller. You can use your wristband that you can use to interact with everything outside in the main part of Super Nintendo World, which we'll come to in a second, these wristbands, and you can log your scores and everything on the wristbands, which is very cool. It's a dark ride, but you're seeing the 3D images through the glasses, so you're seeing different things. You're shooting shells, you're dropping different traps and weapons. It's unreal. It all ties together so well, and it's so much fun, especially when you get through to Rainbow Road. The problem is there's so much going on, you can't appreciate all of the cool shit that's inside, which is actually inside on the ride, all the decorations, how it's themed. It's so cool. I did try and pay attention more to that. So you can see here just how busy it is. These are all queues to get into different things, onto different rides. It's pissing down, there's no cover. I'll be honest, we nearly left here. Obviously I'm glad we didn't. From here we decided that the shortest queue was the Yoshi ride, so we popped in there. We still queued for about half an hour, but it was good fun. It's just a silly ride that takes you around. What we didn't think about is the fact that it takes you outside, back out in the fucking rain, and you go around really slowly in the rain. But it was lots of fun. You interact with the shells and you can interact with your bands as well. Now, the bands were quite expensive for what they are, but you can interact with the app and different features of Super Nintendo World. Now the problem was there were queues to use the different features. So if you got the band and you had to be out to go to anywhere else, you wouldn't get to use it. But the merchandise is incredible. There's everything that you can think of. There's pouches, headbands, t-shirts, towels, everything, just everything. And they love a side character as well, as you'll see in a minute. So you've got tons of merch for Boo and the squid, I can't think of the squid's name. So you've got the Koopas, there was tons of merch for Bob-omb. And here you go, so you've got the Boo hats. There's everything, and it's so much fun. And it's it's reasonably priced as well. So the t-shirts are like 20 quid, the headbands are just about a tenner. It's not like Universal in America or Disney in America. So this is what I was saying with the Disney video, that the merchandise is affordable, so you can go there and you can kit yourself out head to toe in merch. All of the key rings, plushies, toys, stationery, there was everything. There was, honestly, if you can think of it, there was probably merch. And these were great as well. So these blocks with the soft toys inside, what a great way to sell them. I mean, obviously they're a bit more expensive. You're paying for 3 plushies in a bag, but it was very cool. I wanted this t-shirt, but of course it was kids only. The Donkey Kong section, which I imagine will be growing once the Donkey Kong Country ride's open. So yeah, so let's have one final look and see how busy it is. It was spit in here, so you can see everything a little bit clearer. So from there we came out. Once our time was up, we came out and we headed over to the Minions area. So we went through Minions Park and they're having their Easter celebrations. So they've got the Easter celebrations on here in Minion Park and also over in Universal Wonderland, which is all of it's got like the Toontown area. The theming around here is fucking awesome. Got a big mix of all of the different movies, but the Easter celebrations are so cool. They've done it up so nicely. Obviously you've got the section for like the villain con area. And so we popped into the shop to have a look at the merch in here. And again, the displays were so cool. But the merch again is incredible. So you've got merch, as I say, you've got merch from all the different films, all the different characters, and they love a side character. And they love the teddy bear. They absolutely love the teddy. So there's loads of merch for him. As you can imagine, a lot of the stuff is kids stuff, but there is lots of adults bits sort of sprinkled through as well. All the different headbands and different hats and things like that. The theme in here is really cool as well. You've got, obviously being Easter, they're dressed up like lambs, all of the minions, see all that stuff with the teddy, different plushies and key rings. Again, if you can think of it, there's probably a bit of merch. I know there's umbrellas and I've got a Minions poncho because it was so wet I had to rock a poncho. You can see they've got all the side shows and games here as well, and all the restaurants. Everyone getting into the spirit except for me. Everyone's got a bit of merch on except for me because I'm a miserable old twat. But yeah, so you've got for the shows. It's just, this is a really cool area. It's well worth visiting. I'm quite looking forward. Well, if we come back, it will be Christmas. So I'd love to see this area during the Christmas season. Oh, and Delicious Me, the restaurant, and Despicable Me ride next door. You see the queue sticking out, already queuing. So the next area we visited was the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World area. Unfortunately, as you can see, Jurassic Park ride, arrow, closed. And that was so disappointing. My heart sank when I saw that. I was really looking forward to going on that, and I didn't even notice on the website that it said it was closed, and it did. It's just I completely missed it. Unfortunately, you can't really see the animatronic dinosaurs that were out. Oh, you can see. Well, you can see the crowds. You can't really see the dinosaurs, but they are there. So we went over from there. We went to the Flying Dinosaurs, which is a little bit different to the Flying Dinosaurs in Universal in Orlando, because I think of the Flying Dinosaurs as the kids ride. This one is fucking nuts. If you've ever been on Galactica at Alton Towers, it's like that, where you're picked up like in a Superman position, but this is fucking nuts. This was one of the scariest roller coasters I think I've ever been on, and it was so much fun. I was surrounded by schoolgirls, groups of schoolgirls, who screamed from the moment that the ride tipped forward to the moment that it stood us back up. It was deafening, and I can understand why. It's fucking terrifying. It's a fucking terrifying ride. Two cool things though, there's lockers that are free that you put all your stuff in. I was patted down and I had a tissue in my pocket, and I was made to go back and throw it away because I couldn't take it on the ride. You can't have anything on the ride. But the other cool thing is that they had these rubber straps that they gave out to anyone with slip-on shoes, and you put them over the slip-on shoes and they hold your shoes in place. I thought that was fucking genius, absolutely genius. It saves people leaving their shoes there, saves anyone losing a shoe, and it seemed to work really well. So here we go. So this is terrifying. Oh my God, I'm just having flashbacks watching this. It's such a cool ride, such a fucking cool ride, and I would love to go on it again. We had Fast Pass again, but the queue itself was just under 3 hours. Everything was like between 2 and 3 hour queue. It was incredible. So as we come through New York, we stopped off at Finegan's. I heard on the grapevine that they had some vegan snacks in there. So we popped in. Finegan's looks exactly like the Finegan's in every other park. It's the same with Mel's Diner. They're all the same. All the same. But Finegan's, we sat at the bar, which was really nice, and we had falafels and Pepsi. As we came out of Finegan's, we walked straight into the parade. We caught the Mario Kart part, which was really cool. You had Mario there and Bowser, and behind it you have all the Pokemon. I didn't actually see too much Pokemon stuff, but apparently there's loads of Pokemon references and there's loads of Pokemon stuff coming to Universal Japan. And I wonder if that's part of the expansion that includes the Donkey Kong area. But we'll see. I'm going to have to do a bit more research into that. And if it is, I think we'll pop back. You can see Hollywood Dream Ride just behind it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go on that, which was a bit of a bummer. So you can actually ride that backwards as well, which I thought was very cool. Like, that option was closed while we were there. I don't know whether that was the rain or whatever, or if it was just too busy for people to ride that way. It's cool though watching the roller coaster ride over the top though. That was very awesome. As you can see, it actually gets quite close to the streets as you're walking around through New York and all the different areas. So yeah, so this section now, this is one of my favourite sections, this one's aimed at kids, is of course, 'cause I'm a giant child, is the Universal Wonderland. So this is Sesame Street, Snoopy, Hello Kitty, all the Peanuts, I say Snoopy, but Peanuts, and it's fucking wicked. It reminds me of Toon Lagoon very, very much, and that's probably my favourite area in Universal ever. So we looked in the store. In here, when I say there was everything, there was everything. We went to a store in Tokyo, which was just Peanuts, and they had nowhere near the amount of merchandise that was in this store. It was incredible. Hand towels are a big thing, obviously, and underwear, but hand towels are a big thing. The public toilets don't have hand drying facilities. Obviously they do in parks and places like that, but if you go into a train station toilet, there's nowhere to dry your hands, so you have to use your own hand towels and whatnot. And more headpieces, that was a cool one, Charlie Brown and Snoopy. Bags, stationery, towels, sunglasses, phone cases, lots of phone accessories, card accessories, so for your Pasmo and all that sort of stuff. There was lots of sweets in this one as well, sweets and gift sets. All dinner sets, chopsticks, knives and forks, cups. Kind of looking at it now, I kind of wish I bought some more. I've only bought a couple of things. So there you go, these are all sweets and stuff. And unfortunately nothing for us, everything's milk. Do you know what, in Japan, even the bread's got milk in it. It's incredible. I really do wish I'd bought some more stuff, because I keep seeing things thinking, oh yeah, I could use that, I could use that. Yeah, as they're celebrating Easter as well, there's lots of different displays, lovely Easter displays. It's really nice. This is really colourful, really nice area. Everyone's really happy. Usually when you go to parks, you see a kid crying somewhere. In this area, I don't think I saw a single thing. There's loads of stuff like the Ribbon Boutique. I think the Ribbon Boutique was just the Hello Kitty store. We didn't actually go in that one. The carousel and all like the kids' rides and things like that. It's really lovely around here, really colourful. But one thing that does annoy me is that Super Grover, obviously Grover's there, but Super Grover is really underappreciated. In Singapore, on the Spaghetti Space Chase ride, which is the Sesame Street ride there, it's like a dark ride, Super Grover gets done over and Elmo becomes like the hero. It's crazy, like Super Grover was saving the world and Elmo comes in and takes all the credit. And it's quite upsetting, and I feel for Grover. I'm like Team Grover. Anyway, I'm going to stop. I'll stop banging on about that. I get a bit emotional about that. The theming around here is incredible. Like, oh, I love it. Staff waving. It's just so nice. I mean, I think if you're working there and you're just constantly waving, you'd have really strong forearms, or you'd be completely pissed off and never wave at anyone ever, like outside of work. It's really, really lovely around here. And just inside the building there are, I mean this is a kids area, so I didn't film too much in here, just give you a quick overview. So there's a playground, there's like a small little shop. This is like a water ride roller coaster for kids. That hill they make a big deal out of it. It's really cool, it's really, really cool. Sort of more play areas. I just thought it was lovely, like ball pit. I think there's a foam pit in there as well, like a kid's foam pit. But I just wanted to give you a quick overview. I didn't want to film too much in there. Yeah, so that's it. So we came out and we kind of had one last walk around, went through Amity, went through New York, San Francisco, just had a quick look around just to get some last shots and whatnot and just have a nice wander. Amity was very cool. You see Jaws just to the right. The queue to take a photo with Jaws was too long, basically. It was like a 45-minute wait to take a photo with Jaws, so obviously we didn't bother. We'll do it next time, or the next time we're in a Universal if they've got a Jaws. There we go, there's Mel's driving. Yeah, all the cool cars outside. But my thoughts about Universal Japan. I don't like the timed entry and the ticketing system. I think it's too complicated. I think having 15 options of Fast Pass is too complicated. I think if you've been before, I think you will know what you want to get and it makes more sense. But if you've never been before, it is really complicated. It was very, very wet. Obviously that's not Universal's fault, but it was insanely busy. This was a Tuesday. Could you imagine going on a Saturday or Sunday? I wanted to get a final shot as we sort of left of the arch with the medallion in it. It was a bit of a miserable entry, so we did that. And I walked down CityWalk. So this is the dry CityWalk. I love CityWalk. Wherever we go, if there's a CityWalk there, I do enjoy walking down it. There's usually nothing for me there, except for in Orlando they've got Voodoo Donuts, and they do vegan donuts. But everything else, there's like no vegan options. It's incredible. It's fucking incredible. So yeah, so here's some of the swag that I got. So obviously I got my Super Grover badge and Bert and Ernie badge with rubber ducky. They're cool, they're quite big. Don't know where I'm going to put them, but I just wanted to get them because it was Super Grover. I got my Jaws lanyard, so it's not a proper lanyard, this is a phone holder. You need the phone case for it, which I don't have, but I'm sure I can get one. But this is really cool, it's got like little metal Jaws on there, and it's got the logo, and it's got the swimmer as well. Like they're metal and really nicely made. So I'm looking forward to rocking that. Not that I would ever roll with my phone around my neck, but it's just nice to have. And there's my hand towel. So I actually got this to dry my hands. They were coming in a 2-pack. They got the other one. This one is awesome, like the Shark Ward in Universal Studios Japan. So that's it. So that's really cool. So that's it. So that was Universal Studios Japan. We did have fun. We were a bit wet, a bit tired, a bit cold, but it was a good day all in all. That's the end of our Japanese adventure in March 2024. We'll be going back in November, December. So if you've got any ideas for us and where to go, any suggestions, anywhere that you've been that you love, please just pop it in the comments below and we'll have a look and we'll try and get there. All right, well, thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for some more videos. Give us a like and a subscribe and all that business if you can, if you've enjoyed the videos, and we'll see you in the next one.